Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. Hot topic, hotter than what the weather is right now. We were talking about forward-facing technology, and we happen to actually have three very bright, good, strong anglers here that are going to talk about forward-facing technology, what they think about it, how they're dealing with it, and how they're going to deal with it come their tournament circuit that's just getting ready to start. So the University of Arkansas Bass Club's here, and they are going to talk about it. So we'll just start with you, Hunter. What do you think about forward-facing technology?
Man, it's been a big change in the bass fishing world. When I first started bass fishing just a few years ago, I didn't have it. Had no clue what it was, And here recently, ever since, things started being, publicized more, of the active target and the live scope and everything else. It's been a big deal. And I actually got mine a couple years ago and started learning on it. And man, I mean, the strides, the difference it makes between having it and not having it is just, it's insane. Right. I mean, it's crazy.
Hunter, or Brooks, tell us, how many guys do you think are anglers on your team have that? Half of them?
I would say at most half. It's kind of it's an expensive thing to get into, especially as a college angler.
Right.
We have a couple sponsorships and stuff that can help us out with that, but as far as getting fully into all that technology, it's kind of tough for the average college angler.
Right. And so that takes us to Mason. Mason, you have it on your boat?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so do you use it? Are you a big believer?
A lot. You learn a lot when you're looking at it all day. You're like, if you're using it and you're watching them, you'll see them. You'll learn how they react.
Yeah. So, Hunter, you have the most experience, right?
Yeah,
I'd say, guys. Yeah,
I've learned quite a bit. I've got a couple buddies in Huntsville. Yeah, you probably know Travis Harriman.
Yeah, Travis.
He's a big influence in the forward facing sonar deal. So I've learned a lot from him and some other guys, on that and how to use it. And I've gotten pretty good, I'd say, at it in the last probably 8 months. Really, this last winter, I really got honed in on it and how to get stingy fish to bite.
Right.
And even here in the summertime, I mean, I've been using it for the last, I think I've won all my tournament money on this year. So,
you think it's do or die?
At certain times, I think you can do without it.
Right.
I'd say 95% of the time anymore, it's gonna take forward-facing sonar to do pretty well in some of these tournaments. Like I said, me and Brooks, we fished the Booker County deal, and I'm actually with my uncle this year fishing that. And I think the first 4 tournaments of the year, so that started in February and about till April or May, all those tournaments were won on forward-facing sonar. We won one of them and placed second in 3 other tournaments in those first 4, and they were all using forward-facing sonar. So
we know, is it do or die though, Mason? Seriously, you're a shallow water guy. If you fall out of the boat and your knees get wet, you're too deep, right?
Yeah. No, that's it is and it isn't do or die. I mean, I won a tournament at Millwood last year, and we pulled down and picked the trolling motor up and didn't move. Got 20 pounds. So it's stuff like that. Like when you, like, I've grown up throwing shallow. I've been a shallow guy, but when you can take it at these areas that are not as shallow as Millwood, swampy reservoir, you can learn more. You can sit back and like, okay, where are they? If you're you're catching them shallow, but how are you catching them shallow? That's the thing you're learning.
So you don't think it's do or die?
Up here, yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
if you're in these highland reservoirs, you're losing.
How about down on the river there?
Depends if there's flow.
All right.
Yeah. What happens in the summers, you run into a lot of no flow, and you can still catch them shallow, especially when you're getting later in the year. That bait gets up, you can go chase the bait, and you'll catch fish.
Right.
But when they'll back off them jetties, you can sit back and look for them, and it's learning that part that you didn't know about until the forward facing stuff came out. That you're like, oh, they're out here. It's like so.
You think that's opening up the bank though? I mean, the guys are all out there pinging away, and
depends on how stingy it is.
How stingy it is.
Yeah, no, they'll be in the grass. There's always fish up shallow. but it's just the numbers. How many are up shallow and how many are you going by? If you don't have very many fish up shallow and you're not catching all of them, and these guys are out here with more fish out deep and they can see them, and they know, hey, how is this fish biting? That's the difference that you run into. So.
Brooks, have you used it to locate fish, pre-fishing?
We've used it a lot, locating fish, pre-fishing, getting on some brush piles here and there. We use it a lot at Dardanelle, pre-fishing. Even though it's kind of a shallower lake, we use it a lot.
And give us an example down on the river there, how you're using it.
We'll roll up to, maybe a little bit deeper pocket and look around for maybe some submerged brush or some submerged, standing timber and stuff like that. And we'll look for, because, down there, especially in the college tournament, there's a lot of people beating the bank. I mean, they will beat the bank up pre-fishing, day of the tournament, so you have to.
So you see Mason, he's gone 5 miles down the bank, right?
Yeah.
Is that what the deal is?
It's kind of like that, I mean, when you get 250 plus boats, and like we said before, not all of them have forward-facing sonar or any sort of technology for that matter. You get a lot of guys beating the bank, and especially down there, especially in October. Usually there's a couple tournaments in October, and I mean that place gets beat up. So you have to, expand what you can do and go looking where no one else is looking.
All right. Hunter, should they ban forward-facing technology?
I think as far as it's already came, I don't think they can. I don't know if they can or not. I don't think so. I mean, I think, like I said, for me, it's been revolutionary as far as my fishing experience. I've not as far as just numbers go, but quality of fish, being able to see the kind of quality of fish that you're fishing for. That's a big game changer for me. And and I've caught, like I said, a ton of fish off of it in the last year and a half or two. And so I don't know. I think that's a pretty controversial thing. I think a lot of people kind of teeter on that a little bit. Some people want to ban it. Other people don't because they like it so much. I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I like it, but I think it does create an unfair advantage for people that do have it versus the people that don't have it.
Maybe that's more in college where you don't have a job or you don't have the money or the backing to go out and get it. Brooks, what do you think? Forward facing? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Did you grow up playing video games?
I did grow up playing video games.
So do you think that's just something that, you're just changing, like here it is, and instead of that game, you're going on to that next game?
I think it makes it easier to pick up and makes it easier to appreciate what it is. But, like I do have a little bit of, as young as I am, I have a little bit of old school blood in me. So I appreciate just going out and fishing and stuff like that. So I'm kind of thumbs in the middle there on forward-facing sonar and other technology for fishing.
All right, Mason, frogger or not?
Oh man, so
or is that too far back?
Oh no.
All right.
I like my frogs. No. You got sometimes when you think about it, you're like, especially up in these highland reservoirs, no one fish for these fish they're fishing for. It's like, unless you're fishing for striper and you're trolling, you're chasing fish that no one's ever really fished for.
Right. So
these
are suspended fish.
Exactly. And you even like the roamers and stuff like that. You have these highland reservoirs, Beaver, Table Rock, Bull, Norfolk, Greers, even Washita does it. It's you realize that, hey, there's a lot more fish, but we were never fishing for them. So like at the end of the day, yes, they're catching more fish and they're staring at their screens all day, but the only really other people who figured out how to do this were mainly like the Canadians using the 2D when Gussie did all that stuff. And he did that with 2D before we even had live scope. He was doing the whole Demiki rig before even live scope came out. So it's those guys had it figured out. The 2D, I mean, we've always fished brush piles, but it's these fish out here that you've never fished before. I'm like, you can't get mad about it. Like, you never even knew they were there half the time. So it's like, I didn't even know they were there. And then now you're sitting back and you're looking, you're like, okay, we're going to figure these guys out. But it's that new group of fish that we haven't seen before, that haven't been beat to death by everyone forever, that those are the game changers, and I think that's what makes forward facing sonar, but they say a little easier, but you still got to catch them. It's
right.
You still got to be accurate. You still got to figure out what fish it is.
Basically, I think, and no one said Aaron Martin's yet, but they should say Aaron Martin's. Aaron Martin's was beating everyone by using 2D sonar technology. That's how he was, like, basically you could say whooping on everyone, because probably in Aaron's mind, I know Aaron, probably in his mind, he's seeing like lines. He was probably seeing fish, because he lived offshore and stuff. And I think he would be, this is awesome. This is like, and he would be like, if he's still fishing, he would be phenomenal at it. He would have been ahead of everyone on that curve, because he already was placing on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have forward-facing technology. What are you going to cast to see? What's your favorite lure to cast to see when you're fishing it? And the question is also, do they allow Alabama rigs in some of your tournaments? They do or they don't?
I think they do for most of every tournament that we have.
Collegiate bass will, bass won't. MLF it will, based on the state rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like Missouri would be three
hooks.
Yep.
All right. So what's the lure? What's the lure of your choice? We'll let everyone answer this.
So my wintertime, my go-to is the Demiki rig. I mean,
all right.
A little VMC Moon Eye jig head, 3/8 ounce, 3/8 ounce to a half ounce, and some sort of shad shape, 4 3-inch, just a shad looking, whether it be a swim bait. I kind of swap between a swim bait and a straight tail bait on there. As far as the wintertime goes, summertime it's always a big worm. I'm a big worm in brush piles. Yep.
Like 10-inch worm?
Yeah, 10 or 12-inch. I really got into the 12-inch worm this summer. Really hammered them. It's a little intimidating throwing it, but big fish love it.
We could go in the fishing closet and get you out some 15-inch coach whips by Cream Lures. You'd probably like that.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't be afraid to try it. For sure.
There you go.
For sure.
Yeah, I know someone who won a big tournament on Toledo Bend recently on a big coach whip.
Yeah.
What would you throw, Brooks, if you had your opportunity to fish and really see them and catch them using it?
Oh, the first thing I've always picked up is a little 2.8-inch Kitech,
right?
Fat impact with a 1/4 ounce head probably, and that's pretty much year round. And then in the summertime, we like to throw the big worms on the brush pile stuff. Yeah, oh yeah. You can't get away from them.
They're from Huntsville. They're going to throw a big plastic worm.
That's right.
Mason, how about you?
Well, I guess I got 3 that I would throw.
All right.
And it's a shaky head.
Right.
Probably a yum dinger on the back.
Okay.
Drop shot with a straight tail worm and a crankbait, because I can watch them. I'll watch them chase the crankbait and then go back in with the other 2.
Right.
But, yeah.
Is that because you're down in the river? Or you like the river? And
yeah, you can follow. You can see how they react to certain baits, and you can get back up in there with the other slower baits. And even the deep stuff, I'll fish brush piles with the drop shot, especially because I can see what's in the pile, and we're gonna pick them apart. But
all right, so you found your favorite lure. Can you always get them to bite? Because apparently everyone that I'm starting to listen to, they say that y'all catch every fish with forward-facing technology. Everyone you see, you catch.
I wouldn't say everyone, but there's a pretty good percentage that I've been really stingy as far as trying to figure them out and figure out why fish won't bite at certain times. And sometimes, I mean, it's pretty apparent that you're just not going to get a fish to bite. But I have had several opportunities to catch fish where I thought, there's no way I'm getting a bite. And then throw it, work your bait a little differently, hit them from a different angle, and they end up biting. So I think it's the forward-facing deals definitely taught me a little bit on as far as making different casts and working your bait different to get, trigger some different bites.
Yep. Do you think it's going to be here forever, Brooks? It's not going away. It won't be banned,
and it's only going to get more improved. It's not going away. It's only going to advance. So, like anything else,
won't be a problem, will it? Will it, Mason?
I wouldn't say it'd be a problem, but the fish will get smarter. We just got to get smarter. Up here we're so far from these fish because you can chase them down up here and you'll catch them. But I mean, I've only done that a handful of times because I like this other stuff, the shot stuff. But
Right.
you look up there, and I've seen it myself. They know what it is. The fish know, and they've realized that, hey, when I feel like this, I got to go because something's chasing me. But it's I mean, the only thing that'll change is how the fish act, and then we got to learn again. Okay, now what do we need to do to catch them again?
Right.
But
So, topo maps. Do you guys study topo maps or not?
For sure. Topo maps are a big deal, especially in the wintertime. Finding them, finding the right areas to find the bait fish. Where you find the bait fish, you'll find the big fish in the wintertime.
Yep.
And then from there, you can use that forward-facing sonar, catch them up.
There you go. So
Catch them up.
there you have it. College kids that have, I'll say kids because I'm old, some youth anglers that had electronics when they were growing up. And so, it's one of those topics. I don't think it'll go away very fast, but we'll see what happens. That takes us to Tackle Time. Tackle Times is not sponsored by any electronics company. It's sponsored by PICO Lures that makes a complete line of hard and soft baits. Anything you need to go catch fish with, they make it. For everything from crappie baits. They have iScope jig heads that are made with an aspirin-shaped head so you can see the jig better. And that's what a lot of those Demiki rig guys are actually sneaking out and using those jigs because of how Mitch makes them with the reflective, the eye in it is metal, so it actually shows up a little better. But you can check that out online at picolures.com. Hey, if they want to become a sponsor of the Bass Club, the University of Arkansas Bass Club, how would they do that?
Yeah, for sure. You can hit us up on our email. It's bassteam@uark.edu. Or you can hit us up on our socials. We have a Facebook and an Instagram. That's at Arkansas Fishing. So just hit us up, shoot us a DM, or shoot us an email.
There you go. Hey, if they get enough money from every donation, then everyone could have forward-facing technology on their boat, right?
It'd be a stretch, but
someone have to have some deep pockets to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty awesome deal. So, like I always like to end the show, make sure you keep your hook sharp and your lures in the water.